Hello, welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. I'm coming to you live using StreamYard. I am going live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the same time. We're trying this out. So if you're on, say hi and say where you're watching, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. I'm going to share this to my Facebook group. And I'm hoping that's going to work. Okay, I hope it's bright enough in here. So if you're on, say hi. Hi, Mom. You're watching on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to move this. So I figured out how to make the camera go landscape on StreamYard. It was fairly easy. But I had to do kind of a Google search, so. So today we are going to create these fun and very easy card. We might be able to create 2 of them. I'm calling these my window blind cards. Hi, Vicki. Look like you had a good day at the zoo today. So before we get started, just a couple things that I want to remind you of. If you do see anything that you like on the live today, you can go to thecraftychemist.stampinup.net, click on shop, and you can shop all of the products in my store. The September 2024 host code is UN93FBVU. If you put that in the host code, it will select me as your demonstrator for that order, and you will get added, your order will get added to my September party. If you spend more than $150, go ahead and don't use the code, because then you will get the benefits of the party and get your bonus gifts. Hi, Dee. So I wanted to remind you that the mini catalog went live September 4th, and the papers that I'm using today is from this mini catalog. So I am using the Splendid Autumn papers. I'm using these papers here from the catalog. Really gorgeous set. This is very similar to the Meandering Meadow set that we've used before when I made the Flying Seagull cards. It was a very similar thing. So you could use these papers to make some of the Flying Seagull cards. That would be pretty too. Here are some of their card samples. What's really neat about this set, and I did not purchase it, but I'm thinking about it, is this here. And I don't know if you can really tell how gorgeous this is, but it makes sort of a frame that you can put a picture in. And then look at how it's got the chain that you can, like you're hanging it up. And I think that this is a good example here. if you see, they've cut the frame out in like, looks like gold foil or something, and then they cut out one of the scenes from the papers for inside, like it's a painting, which I think is really good. Here it is, sort of completed. You see how they have it in, it's like a impressionist painting inside the frame. And then look at the chain. I mean, this looks like real chain and frame. I just think it's really interesting. Here they did it in black and have it kind of hanging on in a portrait orientation. So I think it's really cute. But then you can just use it as a die cut, you know, to stamp your sentiments on. So, oh, you got the stamps and dies? Oh, well, please make something with the dies in that and um, post it in the group. Actually, a live I'm going to do in a few weeks. I think that would be perfect on it. And I'll remind you when I get to that. So anyway, we are using the papers from this set. There's also these woven golden leaves, which I didn't think that it was that sort of like necessary or whatever. I don't know. But I saw somebody's scrapbook page, one that I'm doing in a couple weeks, similar to it, using the changing leaves, and they use these, and oh my gosh, it added such an amazing like layer of texture to their clusters that I was like, oh man, I wish I had purchased that. So there's a lot of good stuff in the mini catalog. There is a lot of Christmas stuff and a lot of fall stuff. I did go through that. If you haven't seen the catalog, I did a walkthrough. So you can go back on my lives and see that. And then the other thing is I want to show you, I'll remind you about the scrapbooking brochure is live. And some of it is related to what's in the mini catalog, so they coordinate with them. But there are a couple different ones. Hi, Don. But I wanted to tell you, I ordered all 4 of the scrapbooking workshop kits that are in this. And today I recorded some videos, just some quick videos for Instagram, showing each of the kits. And let me tell you, I like these kits better than the Close to My Heart kits. They're very, very similar to the Close to My Heart kits, but I think that I like them better. One is because I think that the printed directions are better. It's on better quality paper. The pictures are better. You can read it better. And I like the photo placeholders that they have. They're really cute. I don't know. I think it's going to be a good path. So if you haven't got them because you're kind of hesitating, try one out because they really are nice. And I think I am going to do the Halloween one, like one of the pages from the Halloween one live one day. So you can see that. No, the scrapbooking brochure is just a digital only. And because, well, you know how they've had to do this sort of Close to My Heart, Stampin' Up! Merger quickly. They already had the mini catalog, in press or, in going through the process. And so they had to add this quickly. The scrapbooking line, they really wanted to get the scrapbooking line, I think, at the end of the year. And so they just did a digital brochure. It is on the Stampin' Up! Page. I also posted images of it on my Facebook. If you can go, you can scroll back and look for the scrapbooking brochure. But also the PDF is on there. And I can send you the PDF too if you want to. But they do have, they have the 2-tone cardstock with the white core in some colors. So garden green, pool party, real red, and basic black. But in the new annual catalog, they will have all of the Stampin' Up! Colors in the two-tone white core paper, in addition to their normal solid core, one-tone colors. This one, Reindeer Memories, and the Snow Days coordinate with sets that are already in here. Let's see if I can find those here. So Reindeer Days, there's other products, but just the scrapbooking stuff is in the digital brochure, but there's stamp sets and everything that go with it. And I haven't tried it, but I think that the deer die cuts might cut out some of the deer in the paper. I don't have the die cuts to test it, but I think so. This Sentimental Christmas, I did purchase this. It's not one of the scrapbooking kits, but I think that the die with the stocking and at least the candles, maybe the leaves, the holly, that is part of the paper here. So I think it's going to cut some of those out too. And then there's two of them that aren't collections. Let's see, the Halloween Memories. This one is not a collection in the mini catalog. However, it does coordinate with the stamp set and bundle, because if you can see, you see how it's got these books, and I don't know if you can tell that. Oh well, yeah, on here it's got those same books on the paper, so it does coordinate with this. And then the last one is Autumn to Remember. So it's an autumn papers. So, and these, it has these embellishments, and these are like the Close to My Heart embellishments. You know, the ones that are wood grain on paperboard. I'm trying to remember which ones we had like that, but it's exactly the same. I mean, it's different shapes, but it's the same wood grain paperboard. So I was really, really happy with that. I was really impressed with the scrapbooking workshop kits compared to the Close to My Heart. Hi, Brian. I liked your card in the YouTube hop this weekend, and I actually these cards were my hop video was making these cards. So if you watched my YouTube hop, you'll know how to make these. And then the last thing I wanted to remind you before we started, so maybe we won't get 2 cards done, but I don't know, maybe, is the special paper pumpkin deal that's going on. If you are not a current subscriber or have never been a subscriber, if you don't have an email address with Paper Pumpkin, you can get 40% off your first month if you subscribe before October 10th. And you have to use the code HOLIDAY40. So you get 40% off of your first month. So I think that's a really good deal. And on Friday, I did a Create Together where we made the one set of all of the cards, and then we made a scrapbook layout. I actually have the scrapbook layout here. This is what we made from one set of the cards. So you can see it was a birthday set. So that's what we did on Friday. So I've been trying to once a month do the paper pumpkin kits, so we keep on top of those. I don't want them to stack up, build up, right? We want to use our stuff and send them out. Okay, so let's get started on these cards. I'll use this one as my sample. I'm calling these window blind cards because to me they look like window blinds. You know, like on your patio doors, the window blinds that you pull and they open like this way and that way, like vertical blinds. That's what they remind me of. So I call them window blind cards. They may have an actual name, I don't know, but that's what I'm calling them. Okay? And they're really very easy. So like I said, I'm using these papers, so I'm going to show you some of the papers, and then we'll get started. So this pack, okay, again, is a Splendid Autumn. It comes with, I don't know if it says how many are in here, but there's a lot. I mean, you can see there's 4 of each kind, and there's probably about 10. There might be like 40. Well, actually, the catalog might say, let's see, 48 sheets. Yeah, so 48 sheets. You get 48. There they all are right there. 48 sheets. And so they're really gorgeous. They're all autumn themed. So here's one set. Like I said, you get 4. I used one of these for this card. So this is the paper that I used for this card. This one, this is the paper that I used for this card. They're very kind of impressionist, I would say, but they're not, they don't use the pointillism, but they're, you know, they're nice watercolors. This is beautiful. I used this on this one. So you can see that I just kind of zoomed in on a part of the design. Here's this one. I really love this, and that's this card, Pumpkin Spice Season, and I used one of the new stamp sets for that. Okay, let's look at the other ones. This one, I think this is the one I'm going to use today, because just something different. It's purple. This is my absolute favorite, and if we have time for a second one, I think I'm going to do this one. That's the second one. I've been holding out because I love that one. And you know how you never want to cut into the paper that you love? Okay, here's one. I love the skies. This one's gorgeous. Some more fall leaves. Like this one, they're just turning colors. A little flower field. And then this one. And then the backs of the paper are nice, just plain, almost wood grained, I would say, colored wood grain. And you actually could use the back part of these as that the little decorative piece I have behind. So we'll see. I do have the measurements on my blog. Let me drop a link here. Okay, I dropped the link there for the measurements. Let's see. But I have them written down here as I was working this out. So I've got that. Okay, so let's get started. I'll just put one of these here so we can watch. And like I said, I think I'm going to do this one. So you need a card base. And here I use garden green for this one. I am going to use, I think I decided I'm going to use this color. And this is Fresh Freesia. Let me talk about the colors that are in this pack. Colors in this pack are Azure Afternoon, Balmy Blue, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, which is this one, Garden Green, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie, and Wild Wheat. So I looked at the papers that I had. I only have Fresh Freesia in 12 by 12. Yeah, this little tray comes with a glass mat. And I'm using it to kind of disguise the light, the camera, the camera there. I mean, but it's nice. It goes with it. And I like it's got my tools all right here. And you know what my favorite part is? I'll tell you is it's got these little cubes here, which you can put your little Stampin' Dots here. But I like to when I peel the backs off of the dimensionals, before I was throwing them on my desk, and then it was a nightmare to try and pick them all up. I throw them in one of these, and then it's like it contains them. So it makes me really happy. Okay, so I'm going to use the fresh freesia. But if you are using an 8.5 by 11, all you need to do is cut it in half. Okay, but since I'm not doing that, I'm going to cut it at 5.5 by 8.5. So it is much easier if you have the 8.5 by 11. But I don't seem to have that one in fresh freesia. So I'm cutting this 8.5 by 5.5. And that's for my card base. And then I'm just going to fold it in half. You can score it first if you want to. I could have scored it. But I'm using my bone folder, which I recommend you get your next order. If you are, say you need a few dollars to bump you up to the next bonus or whatever, get this. Have this on your, whenever I need a few more dollars in my order, add this to it. Okay, so here is my card base. So it is 4.25 by 4.25 by 5.5 inches. Okay, so that's my card base. And then you need a little piece here. So here I'm using crushed curry. And that piece is 3 by 4.25. And I'm going to use this old olive. Okay, so let's cut this 3 by 4.25. And this just kind of serves as a grounding place for your cut pieces from this design. Okay. And I did pop this up on with dimensionals. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm using the regular size dimensionals. You could put it directly onto the card base. Let me see if any of these I did that. No, all of these I popped them up. You could put it directly on there if you want to, and then pop up the your designer series paper if you want to. Now this is what I was talking about. My favorite thing with this little tray is I put these in that little opening, and then it contains these things. They don't get all over my craft room. Okay, so then this piece that's 3 by 4.25, I'm just going to center, and you can use the little lines on your Versamat or your little glass mat and just center it the best you can. You just need to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and now for the designer series paper, you need a piece that's 3.5 by 3.5. If you're using a piece like this from like the Splendid Autumn or from the Meandering Meadow, you want to think about your 3.5 by 3.5. You know, if I do the 3.5 by 3.5 here, you've got some of the sky, you've got the trees, and you've got some of the flowers. It's going to look different than if I do the 3.5 by 3.5 here. It's just going to be all the flowers. So what do you think? Let's vote. Should I focus on the flowers, or should I do some flowers and sky? What do you think? I'll take your votes because I'm kind of ambivalent. And Diana says flower and sky. Okay, so let's do the flower and sky. So I'm going to cut 3.5 here. And let's see, this looks okay. So 3.5 and then 3.5. That's nice. So I've got a nice center. I've got this nice part in the, is it the foreground? This is the foreground. And then I've got the sky and the trees in the background. So really, really nice. I could have used a piece like this, right? And it would still be gorgeous, right? It would just be, this would actually be really beautiful on a spring card, I think. So I'm going to save this and use it for something else. Okay, now is the part where we are going to cut the window blind parts. Yeah, I think the sky showing it looks good. It would be kind of comparing this one. This one is just I focus on the flowers, and then this one I had some of the sky. So, you know, you can imagine if I had focused on the flowers, it would look like this one. Since I focused on the flowers in the sky, you know, it's like this one. Okay, so we're going to cut this into 4 pieces, and it's really kind of easy to think about. We're going to start with a 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch, and then this is 1 1/4. Okay, so you start with a 1/2 and then just increase by 1/4 each cut. Okay. If you're using a seam like this, when you cut, you want to keep them in order. And what do I mean by that? Well, when I cut a 1/2 inch, usually I cut on the right side of my cutting blade, right? So I would normally cut a 1/2 inch here, but then that would take a 1/2 inch from this side, and then say I was doing 3/4 from this side, right? The seam isn't going to line up. So if you are doing a seam, you need to make sure you start on the very left with the 1/2 inch and then work your way to the right by increasing 1/4. Okay. If someone is making this with like an overall pattern, like I can imagine something like these, and I haven't tried it, but this is the 2024 2026 ink colors. You can do a similar thing like this, right? Just using this paper. It doesn't have to be a scene. It can just be an overall design paper. That's possible too. And if you do that, please post your cards because I want to see what it looks like. I don't know. Okay, so let's cut this first one. 1/2 inch. And then 3/4, 3/4. 1 inch. And then this last one will be 1 1/4. Okay. Okay, and so now what you want to do is place these on your card in the order and just kind of get a general placement. Okay, I recommend putting them in approximate placement so that you get the spacing right. If you just start on one end and start gluing them down, you may end up with, too much space on one end or not enough space or whatever. So, lay it out first so you have the good spacing. And then you want to keep it even at the bottom here and at the top. Okay, so keep that in mind too as you're going. Okay, I'm going to glue these down. Let's start with the 1/2 inch. And when you glue these down, you'll notice that these do hang over the edge a little bit. Okay, they're hanging over the edge. So don't put glue on the very end. Okay. Kind of they overhang, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch on each side. And as you're gluing these down, keep in mind that you want them to be even across the bottom. And you want the spacing to be good. Okay, I'm happy with that first one. Now let's do the second one. Again, don't go all the way to the end. Okay, put that one there. And I'm making sure that these two are pretty, close, as close as I can. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not really measuring it, but. Okay, so the next one. Is anybody trying to craft along? Is anybody making one of these? If so, what are you using? What papers are you using? Okay, and then the last one. These are really easy. And actually, this would be another good, I think this would be a good Christmas card design if you got to crank out a whole bunch of cards for your friends and family. If you do these in Christmas papers, this might be a good simple, design that looks amazing, but it's really easy. Okay. So I got those down. Let's let them dry a second. And then think about what we're going to stamp on here. Well, Diana, you are? Okay, I can't wait to see what you're doing. Okay, so you can see on these, I use different cutouts or different, I don't know what die cuts. I used the circle, or not circle, oval. Here I used, I don't know what shape that you would, it's kind of a rectangle with rounds on the end. And then this one, pumpkin spice season. I think the one that you use should depend on the design that you're using. So for example, this paper, I wanted to show the leaves here. And there was some not blank, but there was some just ground here. So I thought the strip going across would be nice. This one, I had space in the sky up here, so I thought the oval would be nice there. And I think an oval or even something like that would be nice here. Because I don't want to cover up the flowers, because I think that's why I picked these colors, because of, I picked the freesia and the old olive because of the flower. So I don't want to cover that up. So I have a little bit of space here, and that's where I'm going to stamp. So let's see, I have all of these. So you can see this one is what I used here. That one might be nice there. This one is the one I used here. So that's kind of cute too. Let me compare these two. So I like that. That one's a little bit smaller, I think. This one goes here. I think I'm going to go with this one. I think it fits in there nicer. Okay. So these, all of these dies are from the Greetings of the Season, the thin cuts that go with those. I've also got these ones. This one's too big. That one might not be bad. Oh, it's too long, I think. Oh, I might do this one. I might try that one. And do hello. Do I have, where's the hello? Not this hello. I don't think. There's a smaller hello. Let me think about that. Okay, here, this one. Oh, Meandering Meadows, that'll be good. Oh, I have some of these cut already. I have this, but it's not the right color. Okay, let's do this one. And you know what I'm going to do, since this is red rubber, I think I'm going to stamp it and then die cut it. Okay, I have some white. This is basic white. Let me move these. And I'm going to just use Memento Tuxedo Black. I have used this hello a few times. Okay, perfect. Put this back. If you haven't seen my flip card, this is a set I use for the flip card. Okay, I'm getting my the mini Stampin' Emboss machine, which I just keep right here on my desk. That's still in the shot. And cut it out. This is nice and convenient to have on your tabletop for these little ones. Obviously, it doesn't cut anything that's wider than 3 inches, but for the most part, most things like titles and things are less than 3 inches. Okay, so there's hello. I want to cut it on white. I think white's okay. I should have thought about that before I stamped it, but white's okay. And then here, I'm just going to glue it on. I wouldn't pop it up. You can if you really want to. The reason I wouldn't pop it up is because if you put this through the mail, you've already got that base layer popped up. And if you pop this up, it would be 2 layers of dimensionals, which might put you in the, you know, you need extra postage. Okay, there we go. And then on these ones, I used some twine here. And actually, this is twine that I got from one of the paper pumpkin kits. And I have all of this left over from that. So I really like that. But I also have the dots. So I think I'll use these ones. These are the transparent adhesive back dots. I believe these are the ones from the market day. And I might use these ones I think are blackberry, because it will show up. I think it'll show up better. And the greens aren't exactly the same green. You could use it, but you want just something, a little something for an embellishment. So either twine or dots like this. So there's our card. And then I will put a piece of white in there. This is basic white, 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to cut a piece that's 4 by 5.25. For the inside. Because, you know, some of these, especially these darker ones, you can't really stamp on the dark. It's hard to see on the dark color. So, you know, you want to put a white cardstock in there so you can stamp on there. Okay, and I'm just going to go around the edge, especially because I haven't stamped my sentiment on here yet. I don't want to have a glue bubble in the center where I might be stamping my sentiment and it won't stamp well. So okay, there you go. So now you can have a nice sentiment in here. Okay, why don't we do one really quick? Let's do another one really quick. And you know what I think I might do? Let's just try one with background paper. Or should I do I was thinking about doing this one, my favorite one. Should I try that? Okay, let's try it. Making sure this is glued down. Okay, this one, I think I might use the Old Olive as my base. And I forgot I got this out, so why don't we use the Fresh Freesia as the inside. Okay, so this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet, so I'm just going to cut it in the middle. At 5.5. So we'll just run through it again real quick. 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to cut that. This piece we need 3 by 4.25. And this is going to be that decorative piece on the inside. Not the inside of the card, but the inside of where this crushed curry is here. Oh, I could use crushed curry. Let's see. Wait a minute. I have some crushed curry. I'm going to do the crushed curry. So 3 by 4 1/4. Let's just do a different color scheme. 3 by 4 1/4. Okay. And then this paper, I need 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. I really kind of want to focus on this section here because I really like this section. So let me look at, I'm going to look here, 3 1/2. I think that's going to be perfect right there. I'm going to cut 3 1/2 this way because it's going to have this centered. And then, let's see, 3 1/2 this way. Okay, if I cut right below that kind of orangey color there. So you really want to, actually I think I'm gonna put it up a little bit more. If you're doing a scene, you really want to think about what you want to, there we go. See, now that's exactly what I want. I wanted to focus on that scene right there. Okay, so then we start with a 1/2 inch. Three-quarters of an inch. And 1 inch. And remember, keep these in order if you're using a scene. Okay. So that way the scene will be intact. Okay, so let's fold this one in half for the card base. Again, you could score it. I could get out my scoreboard. Okay, let's pop this up onto there. Okay. With our dimensionals, and these are the regular size dimensionals. Take those off. I could have probably not popped this up and showed you how that looks, but okay, and then center this. And then just start gluing. Oh, you know what? Before we start gluing, I told you to make sure that you lay it out to make sure we have it spaced good. Oh, I think these colors are going to be perfect. I'm glad I went with the crushed curry. Okay, I've got it kind of, there we go. That's pretty good. Glue it on. Don't put glue on the very edge, down at the top and the bottom, because those are hanging over. Whoops, oh shoot. Got glue on my glass mat. That's a nice thing about your glass mat, is it's gonna wipe right up. Okay. Think about what sentiment I should use on this one. What should this one say? Would this be a good, do you think this would be a good sympathy? Or it could be a decent birthday. And when you're laying these down, make sure you're lining them up along the bottom, spacing it out how you want. Okay. I love this piece because it's got the what looks like the sun peeking through the clouds. And then the last piece. See how fast these go when I'm not talking a lot? You can crank these out really fast. I might do a couple Christmas ones just to see what they look like. Okay. I did get a new glue bottle, Julie. I did. My other one was just running out too much. Okay, so what did we decide about the sentiment? I could do thinking of you or thank you. Miss you would be cute, but I got so many miss yous and I hardly ever send those, so. Thinking of you. Here's thinking of you. I'm gonna do thinking of you. Actually, I might send this to my aunt who had an accident and I was gonna send her a card, so this might be a good one. Okay, so what shape would be good for that? Probably this. Well, this one would fit this one. Okay, I think it's gonna fit this one. Thinking of you, yeah, I agree. I think thinking of you is good. Won't fit, yeah, it'll fit on this little piece I already have. And this one I am going to die cut first because the stamp is clear, so it should be easier to center it. With these papers, like the Splendid Autumn and the Meandering Meadow, I just think that the scenes are so gorgeous that I wanted to come up with ideas that you kept the scene sort of intact. And I think this one you still get the sense of the scene with this design. That's kind of why I did the flying seagull with the meandering meadows, because I wanted you to be able to see the whole scene. Okay, thinking of you. It fits on there perfectly. Okay, and this one is this is the Simply Said. This is the first stamp set that I bought. I bought this with my new consultant, kit, because it has, let's celebrate, thinking of you, happy birthday, thanks, birthday wishes, just a note, hello, miss you, thank you, yay. So it's got like almost all of the sentiments that basic sentiments, and it's 163756. Okay, so now this one, I am going to use, I think, the twine on this one, because those die cuts automatically cut that hole out. So I feel like you need to put something there. You could put a gem on there if you don't want to do twine. Okay, so how do I do twine? I usually fold it in half and then poke the folded over edge through the loop, or through the hole, and then put the ends through the loop and pull. Like you're doing a luggage tag. This is how I do my luggage tags. Okay. And then let's glue this up. This will have a little bit of a bump here because of the twine, but it's not too bad. But that very center there is not going to stick right down onto the card front. Okay, then let's just cut a center for the inside, and that's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And we'll glue that down. So we could stamp something. I'll go find a get well soon stamp, because this one does not say get well soon. Let's put these on the inside. Okay. And then just center it in here. You could use a regular card base, like a Close to My Heart card base that's a white card base. But you know what? I'm kind of loving making my own card bases with the different colored paper. I think it adds something. Okay, and you know what? I think I'm going to add some. I think I'm going to add the clear. I think it just needs something. These clear ones. Do you think it's too much? I just felt like I needed something to make it sparkle. There we go. Those are kind of like dewdrops. And actually the length of this twine is not too bad. Okay, so here are the cards that we created today. 2 cards. Look at that. Any questions about this? Any questions about this kind of card? Okay, remember this paper is the Splendid Autumn. You've got all of these gorgeous autumn papers. Again, this is my favorite, the one we just used. And I cut into it, guys. It's my favorite, and I cut into it. I'm very proud of myself. I think these are the ones that Diana's using, the Meandering Meadows. So it's very similar. You could use these if you have these. I love these. Or just use a regular pattern paper. That would be great too. And if you do create any of these, please post it in my group on Facebook, The Crafty Chemist Presents Stampin' Up. I do have a blog with the cutting guide. So check that out on periodicallycrafty.blogspot.com. And I have a resource page on thecraftychemist.stampinup.net. If you go to my resource page where I have all of my designs, all of my projects, and it has links to all of the products that I used. You can go there. I'm going to try and drop a link here. Oh, my thing timed out, so. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh yeah, with a stamped image, that would be cool too. That would really be cool. Yeah, if you do that, Julie, please post it. Okay, I dropped a link, at least on the Facebook. I am streaming this on StreamYard, on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So when I just dropped that link, I'm not sure if it went onto Instagram or YouTube. Again, this is my first time doing my live streaming on all three platforms at once. Now, I think I might have posted it on Instagram right now. I think I might have posted it on Instagram right now. Okay, and then I just dropped it on YouTube. Yeah, so apparently you have to do that separately. I might be able to figure out how to do it just on StreamYard and it post all of them, but I don't know how to do it yet. Okay, next week we're going to have fun and make this little treat box. Halloween treat box. So I know we all need to give treats out for Halloween. We're having friends over. We're going to a crop or something. We want these, and I'm using this one. And there's a cute little cat in there. I didn't put him on this one, but maybe on the one next week I will. Okay. Okay. Well, join me next week while we make those treat boxes. Thanks for joining me this time around. And I appreciate you watching. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to my channel so you can watch next time. And you're alerted whenever I go live. Okay, thanks. Bye.